Personal story segment tonight. As you may know, gas prices going through the roof all over America, up 33 cents in just 2 weeks, the second largest jump in the nation's history. White House Chief of Staff William Daley was asked about it yesterday.
We're looking at the options. There's the issue of the reserves is one we're considering. It is something that only is done and has been done on very rare occasions. There's a bunch of factors that have to be looked at, and it is just not the price.
All right, with us now, Erica Payne, founder of the Agenda Project, a liberal organization, and the anchor of Varney and Company on the Fox Business Network, Stuart Varney. You know, look, I'm not an economist or an oil guy or anything like that. What good does it do tapping into the U.S. oil reserves? What is that going to do? There's plenty of supply, am I wrong?
Yeah, there's plenty of supply. We don't have a supply problem. We've got a fear of future
So why would Daley be saying we're looking at the strategic oil reserve?
I personally think it's a smokescreen to divert attention from the absence of drilling. We are not going after our own oil reserves, not increasing our own supplies, and we should be.
There's an excuse for that. I mean, you know, you had that ecological disaster in the Gulf, and there's an excuse for that. But let's just keep it on the oil reserves now. So he goes and he says, well, we're looking at that. And I'm going, why? Do you know?
Well, I think the thing that people forget about markets in general is that people are not rational actors, and so they're really emotional. I think that probably what Bill was trying to do is just signal into the market that the United States is willing to take major action if necessary.
Psychologically trying to bring it down, because all of this to it is psychological, right? I mean, the speculators are buying up the oil futures, and then OPEC raises the barrel, and then the gas companies immediately raise the price, even though they have barrels at much cheaper price.
Let's not demonize speculators. Speculators are, wait a second, they are airlines. They are heating oil companies.
They're investors. I understand.
Those are people who are locking in the price now, so they
because
know what the
think
price
it's going to go up, and if it comes down, they'll lose.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay. There might not be anything wrong with it, but it is an artificial move. It's not a supply and demand move. And and look, OPEC doesn't have to raise the price of oil. It raises it in concert with the speculators. It just raises it. Doesn't have to, because they got plenty of supply.
In the summer of 2008, President Bush lifted the moratorium on drilling and also made speculation more expensive in the marketplace. Within 6 months, the price of oil had crashed, dropped by $100 a barrel.
And you say that's because that the speculators feared there'd be more than enough oil, so they didn't want to...
The price of oil, the price of speculating was raised. They made it more expensive to play in the game. You raise margins.
Okay, but now
you could do that again. Can you do that again?
Yeah. Listen, I don't like the speculators myself. I think they're now looking out for the folks. Now, the reason that you guys should care about this, obviously, is because money's coming out of your wallet, and then money comes out of the consumer wallet, that stalls the recovery from the recession, doesn't it, Erica?
Well, it does, but I mean, one thing to remember is that it sort of comes out of our wallet anyway. So right now, gas prices are about $3.50, $4. About 75% of that is the price of oil. But what we do is we subsidize it on the back end with our taxes into our national security program. So basically, when we police the seas, which is about $200 million a year, we are paying for that gas. We just might not be paying for it at the pump. And so one of the problems that I have, and I think a lot of free market people do, whether they're liberals or conservatives, is that we're not actually paying the price that we should be paying for oil, which is preventing... Well, we're paying for it on our taxes on one side and on the gas pump at the other side, whereas if we paid for it all at the gas pump...
The higher gas at the pump is, the more federal dollars, the more money the feds get. So, I mean, so some cynical people are going, look, Obama doesn't want the price to go down because Washington's getting more money from the taxes at the pump.
President Obama is in bed with the environmentalists. The environmentalists hate oil. They've got a war on oil. They do not want to see our own supplies increased. President Obama is firmly backed by fuels. How do you explain that President Obama has done absolutely nothing in the face of $3.50, $4 gas in some places? Nothing has happened other than this smokescreen that maybe will release.
What should he do?
Say from here on out, we're going to crash program to drill for our own oil.
So announce that we're going to drill, we're going to scare the caribou in Anwar, we're going in.
Stop it, come on. Drill in the Gulf. They've only...
No, I want them to drill in Anwar. I'd much rather have them drill in Anwar than in the Gulf.
If we had a crash program... If we had a crash program... Yeah, I mean...
Drill, baby, drill.
Drill, get out there and do it.
Psychologically, it brings it down.
Reverse this insistence that oil is bad.
Now, Erica, you made the point, the beginning that psychologically, that's why Daly, you called him Bill because I know you're buddies, okay? That's why he said what he said. Now Stewart's saying, drill, baby, drill. That's psychologically going to bring down the price of oil as well. Isn't Varney correct?
Well, so there are a couple of things to remember. One is that markets are emotional, and so I think that
Varney's
Bill
correct
made
there.
a case.
Right.
However, this is also about supply and demand, and one thing that you're seeing the speculators do is make a long-term bet that as oil supplies go down,
But let's
demand's
just
going
deal
to
with
continue
Varney,
to go
drill,
up.
baby, drill brings it down.
Raise
if
the
that were the
supply.
solution, I think that would make a lot of sense. The problem is that over the long term,
We
there's
don't care
not
about
enough
Erica,
oil in this
we don't
country
care,
to
we
solve
don't care
the
about the
problem.
long term now. We don't want to go back into another recession because it's $5 a gallon.
Well,
I mean,
the
I don't
long
care
term
about
is
the
a lot
long
of
term. I
short
want to get
terms all
those
in a
prices
row.
down now. I got to go, guys. It was fascinating. And remember, watching the factor never goes up. It's the same. We're never going to raise our prices here, ever. We come right back. Bernie Goldberg on the editor of the New York Times, harshly criticizing Fox News. I know that's hard to believe. Bernie is next.